developments out of Springfield, where a hoax threat forced the evacuation of a local middle school this morning. Now, a juvenile is under arrest. Thanks for joining us on Western Mass News at 6 on this Monday. I'm Amanda Martin Ryan. Western Mass News reporter Addie Patterson live from outside of Kiley Middle School in Springfield after speaking with parents following today's evacuation. Addie.
That's right, Amanda. Parents tell us they rushed down here to Kiley Middle School in Springfield as soon as they heard about the threat earlier today. That threat coming in right around 11:30 a.m. this morning. Take a look at this video captured by our Western Mass News crews when we first arrived on scene here just before noon. You can see a line of cars headed in to pick up students, as well as students standing outside the building. Fire officials tell us students here at Kiley were immediately evacuated from the building, and the Springfield Arson and Bomb Squad swept the entire building with a K-9 unit. Crews finding no credible threat during their search. Earlier today, I spoke with folks picking up their students following today's incident. They explained their initial reactions with us after hearing about the threat.
First thing that popped in my head was my nephew. I hope he's all right, you know.
I called my son and to confirm what was going on, and he just let me know that there was some type of threat and that everybody was okay. Everybody was evacuated successfully, and you know, everybody was safe, and that was the most important thing to me, to make sure everybody was safe. You know, not just my son, everybody. But I rushed over here just to make sure and just to pick him up and take him home.
The Springfield Police Department tells us they have arrested one juvenile suspect for allegedly being responsible for the hoax today. Western Mass News did also reach out to the Springfield School District for more information regarding today's incident, but at this time we have not yet heard back, and parents also telling us they're thankful for the speedy response of the school department and the Springfield Arson and Bomb Squad. For now, reporting live in Springfield, Addie Patterson, Western Mass News.